Janet Fritz here for Galaxy Girl Creations. Welcome to my channel. Welcome to Kit Conspiracy, where MK and I are using our 2024 cruise kit as a starting off point and then building from there. Also, this is Stretch the Sketch. I'm a bit late in posting this today, but it's up nonetheless. This is the sketch we are using, and it is from Page Maps. I believe it is an A4 size, which is slightly larger than an 8.5 by 11. So we needed to do something any layout other than that, which really opens up the door because that means a lot of people could do 12 by 12 if they wanted. I am doing a double page layout, so I've got quite a few photos from our 2024 cruise while we were in Haiti, and I think this is Haiti. Yeah, Labadee. Okay, so sorry guys. I did a whole bunch back to back, and so I'm like, wait, which one was this? Anyway, I am using this orangey peachy paper, and I'm going to put that down across the corners of my layout. I am roughing up all of the edges with my awesome edge distresser from MK's shop, Some Assemblage Required. And I am going to do kind of a grid style across my layout, across the double page, right in the center, much like the sketch has, only I'm rotating the sketch. As you can see up in the corner, I've rotated it there. I will be using two smaller photos in a couple of areas, or at least in one area, and then adding some journaling spots or some paper with embellishments to kind of make up the difference, much like the sketch already has on it. And so that's where my inspiration is coming from, and I think it's going to work out just fine. So that is my little mini vacuum. I call it R2 Clean 2, and he likes to clean up my paper dandruff from using the edge distresser from MK's shop. It's a great tool, and I can put a link down below for that and the edge distresser in case you are interested in them. If you find the edge distresser to be out of stock on MK's website, put your name down that you are interested, because that tells her that she needs to go and make some more. When she has a few people that are interested, she goes and she makes more and puts them in the shop as soon as she has time anyway, and then makes them available to you. And yeah, it's a really important little thing to know, because if there's something that you want, it lets her know that you're interested. Anyway, I went ahead and pulled in some corrugated paper to layer up behind my corners here, and I'm going to go in opposing directions just because I don't want them to be matchy. I want them to match but not be exactly the same, and obviously when you're tearing something, it's not going to be exactly the same anyway, but I want it to look slightly different, so I'm going to go across the top the opposite direction. Now this piece of paper, it's been in my stash for a long time. MK does not have the exact same piece of paper, but she has something that reads kind of like an orangey, almost like a solid in her stash, or in her paper as well. So our kits are not identical this week because we are using kits from our stash and building from there, although we did coordinate so that we have similar papers, even though they may not be exact. Now, some of the papers are exact because they might have been from our kit, or it could have been something that maybe wasn't from the kit but coordinated with the kit, like we had extra papers left over or something like that, or the solids that go with this particular collection, or the collection that started off the whole kit, which was the 40 Simple Stories, Simple Vintage Coastal. So yeah, I'm going to go ahead and just continue working on building my grid background, and I'm liking how that's looking. I do end up moving things around on this left hand side because I realized I needed to start with the top photos. I don't really want that column of photos to be taller than what I've got going right next to it. And so we're going to go ahead and just work from the top down so that I can align it, and then it doesn't really matter how much of that bottom paper is showing. It's more about getting the photos lined up than the actual bottom paper. Whatever room I have left over in that bottom paper, I will use for some embellishments or a journaling spot or a combination thereof. Now, I really liked this orangey paper, and I like the kind of turquoisey corner of it. This is from the Simple Vintage Coastal Collection. It's one of the pattern papers, and I think it had 3x4 or 4x6 cards on the back side. But I really wanted to bring in that turquoise, and that's going to allow me to bring that in by using that piece of paper, because I'm going to be using some embellishments that have the turquoise in it as well. And I'm liking how it's coming together so far. These are just kind of random photos. We did a lot of walking around in this area after our excursion, which was a really early morning excursion. We did some snorkeling, and then so we did some walking around, and then we eventually found an alpine slide and rode that. And I will have a layout on that a little bit later this week. I do want to let you know my days for posting are going to be a little bit different this week, just because we had Stretch the Sketch, and then we also have Stitches and Stencils on Saturday. So rather than doing Monday, Wednesday, Friday, I'm going to probably be doing Sunday, Tuesday, Friday, and Saturday. So you're getting 4 layouts this week, which is a little bit more. And normally we commit to 3, but normally we do more. But this month has been super busy for both of us between travel and some, other commitments at home. It's just been super busy. So I apologize if you're only just getting the 3 that we committed to. We both like to undercommit and over deliver, but that's just sometimes how life is. And between work and home commitments and then the travel again, it's just been a little bit more difficult to get everything done or at least for me, as I had hoped for. But anyway, this week you're getting 4 layouts, and then we will be doing our next kit share on Sunday the 23rd for the following week. And so don't be looking for that kit share on Saturday, but look for our Stitches and Stencils layout, which is something that MK and Sandy and I have been doing for a couple of years now, where we use stitching and stenciling. So this layout, you're getting some stenciling, and if you're interested in that stencil, I am super sorry, but I don't think it's available, because it is an old, close to my heart stencil that I borrowed from MK, who happens to be sitting next to me while we were retreating, and I borrowed it right out of her stencil binder. And she informed me it's an older, close to my heart one. It's amazing. I love it. I wish I had one. And if you wish you had one too, I apologize that that you're not going to get one. Now these little chipboard pieces, these are from the dollar store, believe it or not. I just happened to be in there with the kids I take care of, getting a couple of art supply type deal items, and saw these, and I really like these big kind of Monstera style leaves, and they remind me of a tropical feel. There are 2, it came with, I think, 2 of each color, and then 2 of the fall style leaves you see at the top of my screen there. And so I'm using, I bought a couple of packs of them, and I am going to go ahead and use those on this layout. They are chipboard, but I'm going to peel a couple layers of chipboard off the back of them. You'll see me doing that because I didn't want them as thick as they are. I'm also using the big foam stickers from the Simple Vintage Coastal Collection. I'm going to use this big word Beachy, and this was one reason I didn't want these leaves to be super thick, is because they're getting layered up, and that's going to add a lot of dimension. So thinning them out is going to help greatly. So here's where I'm adding in some of that turquoisey blue. Those pieces are from Heidi Swap's Set Sail collection. And I think they match really well with the turquoise that's in that paper up in the on the right-hand page. And then bringing in more of that turquoisey color, which happens to be on a couple of the leaves. It also happens to be on the paper that I really liked. And it matches really well with the Heidi Swap stuff. So, I'm just going to go for it. I'm also adding some of the twine from Stampin' Up. It's the linen thread, actually, and that's going to go in my little tag hole there. And then I've got some little Beachy sayings from the 49 and Market Sunburst collection, and so I'll be bringing that in. I'm also going to bring in a flamingo, I believe, from that collection. And then I will bring in I'm going to cut apart one of the 4x6 cards from the Simple Vintage Coastal Collection from Simple Stories to create a third cluster over on the far right hand side. The green that I am using, I'm not really sure what shade of green. It might be peeled paint. It's probably peeled paint. I just packed one green and then a saltwater taffy and then some neutral colors in my kit to go on this retreat. I did actually borrow an ink from MK as well. So yeah, just any green. Also, sometimes I just use the green that's left over on my blending tool, which I didn't happen to have with me. So this is, you know, I don't know. I don't even know which other green it is, to be honest with you. If I showed it on the screen earlier, then maybe you can go from that, but I don't even remember if I did that. And then I have this little bag that has my my adhesive in it when I travel. At least that's what I'm using it for this time. And so I'm using some dimensional foam to hold up those little sayings or the little circular bits. Those are also from the 49 Market Sunburst collection. And then here's where I'm going to go ahead and cut apart this card. I had multiples of this card because I had multiples of the paper, and so I don't feel real bad about cutting it apart. And I think I've actually possibly already used the card somewhere else. And yeah, it's just, you know, another way to stretch your embellishments is to do some fussy cutting and cut your 4x6 or 3x4 cards apart, or even the papers themselves if they've got like large florals or sayings or something like that. It's a great way to just stretch your collection. So I tend to use more of the embellishments than I do of the paper, so it works really well for me. Although I will say that if I am in a paper layering mood, I might be using a lot of that as well. Now, I'm not sure if MK has a video up for you today. I'm not sure if it was participating in Stretch the Sketch. And like I said, I'm a little late in posting it. Usually I post it up at midnight, but it is now late afternoon, and you know, I'm finally getting around to voicing it. It took me a little bit to get things edited. I've got back from travel and had a really busy work week, and so here I am doing it at the, you know, I'll say the 13th hour. It's not the 11th hour. I'm way past when it was due, but it's up nonetheless, and I'm hoping that you are enjoying it. Okay, so I went ahead and peeled the backer, or the layers off the back of these other leaves that I've got over on the far right, so that this embellishment cluster is not going to be quite as thick as it would have been otherwise. And then I'm using some glue. I apologize that I am off screen a bit. I am zoomed in a little bit over my work area at the retreat, and that is mostly because I didn't want you to have to look at the floor or my lap or my feet or whatever. And I had been working on smaller layouts, and I kind of just zoomed in too far, so I apologize for that. But now you're getting a close-ups of everything. I hope that you enjoyed this one. If you did, hit the thumbs up button. Don't forget to subscribe if you're not already subscribed. Links are down below for everyone playing along with Stretch the Sketch. Actually, it is a playlist, so you can find that down below. And then don't forget to go check out MK's channel as well. If you missed our kit releases, you can look at yesterday's videos. We posted our kit shares yesterday, so you'll be able to see that there. Thanks again for watching and spending time with me. I really do appreciate you and the time that you spend here. And I will be back again real soon with another video. Take care and have a great day. Bye-bye.